we made the trip down to some test runs with drag truck. You guys just really filled up the comment section with all your guesses. I really appreciate it. That's what makes it fun. The good news is the truck went down and back with no issues. I was happy with what the truck did. I'll explain it to you at the end. Some of you may be disappointed. You were really optimistic. I appreciate that as well. What disappointed me is what I learned after I got to the track. And I'll wait till you catch up down at the track where I was, and then I'll let you hear of my disappointment. We do have a winner. I'll announce that at the end, but right now, let's get you in the truck and make the trip with me down there so you can see what happened. Today's the day. I do have bad news. My wonderful wife, which is also my camera lady, she isn't able to make the trip today. I'll do the best I can, I promise. Just gonna make sure we have enough when we get down to the track. It's running nice and cool. No complaints on that. I didn't know how the old radiator would do out here. Traveling down the road at about 2,800 RPMs at, I don't know how fast I'm going, maybe 50. So, it's doing all right. It's not doing bad at all, honestly, guys. A feller doesn't know till he gets him out, and I'm going to be truthful with you. This has never been this far away from my house, except for when we went to Mexico to do a few burnouts, of course. But other than that, we're just about 40 miles away from home. It's doing good on everything. Smooth, going down the highway smooth, just turning some RPMs, you know. We're just taking our time at 50, but we're almost there. Well, let's knock out the rest of it. Haven't guessed we made it. Just went through tech. We passed. I didn't see any problems. Well, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I am disappointed because I learned that they're only running 1/8 mile today. So with that 1/8 mile, I guess all I can do is use the conversion chart and go from 1/8 mile conversion to 1/4 mile. That's the only way I can know to do it, to be fair. And I don't see me coming back down here with the 318. I got other projects and other things I need to move on with. But I just disappointed, that's all. I really wanted to run a 1/4 mile, but 1/8 mile is what we're gonna get. There ain't nothing I can do about it, guys. I mean, I can kick a fender and throw my camera, but it's still gonna be an 1/8 mile.
All right, the call goes out. Top eliminated.
Well, here we go. I can't take you down the track. Well, we'll get our ticket and see what the damage was. I'm having all kinds of video problems today, my friends. Thank you. First run was 10:08. So I'm just going to try to throw a couple more degrees of timing into it, maybe 1 or 2. Means we ran a 10:08, which I'm happy with. I am thinking that a 999 is in reach. We'll see. All right, we're up to about 37 degrees. We'll see. One thing I want to elaborate on, when you try to tune and tweak with your car at the drag strip, change one thing at a time. I just went up with my timing, that's all I'm going to do. I'll try to shift it at the same, I'll try to launch it at the same. If you change your RPM shift point, your timing, and your jetting, and you do all of that at once, if it will slow or faster, you don't know what helped or what didn't help. So just one little step at a time. We'll take a reading from that. Just waiting for our turn to be called up. Trying to keep the engine in the shade. hundredths, but we gained a whole mile an hour. 68.02 to a 69.04, so we're a solid mile per hour better on that run. I'm going to attribute that the mile per hour better due to the timing, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to attribute the 400 slower to me. I got staged, and the guy stayed at pre-stage. He never rolled into it. So I let off, he pre-staged, the lights came down, I tried to pick it back up, but 60 foot times fell 600ths. So I think that's where the time was lost. We'll leave it where it is and try again. This here is the guy who put the dual exhaust on my 74 Duster. Now he's run a 568 with this today. And but here's what's unique about this car. He figured out how to run it off a windshield washer fluid, and he's going to put it in his gas tank right now. No tricks. There it is. This is some engineering here. All right, that's cheap racing. So I came in the house where it's a little bit cooler to finish up this video. But before we dive in to the rest of Drag Truck and the winter, I received another package in the mail. Kind of interesting on this. Actually, it's funny actually. But what I received is a Uncle Tony's Garage t-shirt. Says this on the back. And it's kind of funny because there was a different website that there was a conversation, and just some people had some stories and some facts mixed up. So all I did is just wrote what really was taking place, to be fair. And I don't know how, but Uncle Tony saw that, and he got a hold of me, and he thought it was funny too, I think. Thanks to him for sending me that. But back to the truck. My guess was a 1574. That's what I put down. And what the truck ran was a 1008, as you saw. And this is what I did. I took my computer, I typed in 1/8 mile to 1/4 mile calculator, not conversion, calculator. The first one that came up was easycalculation.com. I clicked on it. I entered in, to give you a place to enter it, I entered in 10.08, and it said 1572. Then what I did is I took my 1/8 mile of the other cars that I ran here recently, and I put those numbers in, their 1/8 mile times, and the 1/4 mile came out to like within 200ths or so, like that. I mean, for instance, my gray van ran a 1016 best 1/8 mile, and the calculator said that come to a 1584, and we know that the van ran a 1586. So that's about as close as I'm going to be able to get. This is how we're going to do it. I punched it in, 1572. The winner, I started with the oldest entry dates. So they were the ones that entered first, and I went to see if there was a 1572, and by George, somebody did guess a 1572. The first person to do this was Darren's Mopar Express. So Darren's Mopar Express send me your address at 318willrun@gmail.com. Again, 318willrun@gmail.com, and we'll get that mug shipped out to you. A really big appreciation for all that participated. We had way over 100 entries for this, which made it really fun. I hope everyone understands what happened and why it happened, and this is the route we chose. Lastly, why I wasn't disappointed was that motor from the factory was probably 150 net horsepower. That's in new condition. I can pretty much guarantee you the condition of that motor isn't up to par what it was when it was new. So it might be down 10, 15, who knows, 25 horse, I don't know. So the 4-Brown headers, if they added between 30 and 40 horsepower, you know, you be the judge of that. So this engine might have been pushing net horsepower of 170, 180, I don't know. You take that with the 3,750 pounds at the start line, and then here's the killer. That torque converter is tight. My 60-foot times were 2.3. That's just killer. Especially when you're running an 1/8 mile. The truck just bogs out of the hole. Not bogs, but it's just, when it hits a certain RPM, it comes to life. Unfortunately, it kills the 60-foot time. So I'm confident if it had even a flash stall up to 2,800, I'm confident it would hit probably mid-9s in the 1/8 mile. But it is what it is. That's what it ran. I guess the 1574, and according to the calculator, it ran about a 1572. So that's about what I was expecting. So I'm not disappointed at all. But we'll be putting in a different engine, and we'll be just staying at it.